y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah, here comes the.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We are the Tailgate Talks. We're here with a real number today. No, we didn't turn those back on yet.
What the fuck?
We had to turn them back on. We didn't turn them back on. You met Kelly Googled it. But we're back with episode 30, season 2, episode 30. We're still rolling. A lot of exciting stuff coming at you today. We're going to do some stuff with the Lions and Michigan. So football is just about back, and every time it's like we're in one of those weird phases where like we can't wait for football, but at the same time summer is actually finally here in Michigan.
So close, I can feel it.
But summer's finally here.
Yeah,
just gotta enjoy it.
And we got another cool team here playing in Detroit right now, which still has the best record in baseball.
Yes, sir.
As of this morning,
it's just very slow. Every couple days.
Sounds like you never played. Sounds like a guy that never played baseball before.
That's the thing.
I want the Lions
long
in there.
season, dude.
I know. It's just football. It's every day something new.
Yeah,
Did you open my Red Bull?
Yeah. I didn't drink it though.
What a brick.
Here, did you feel like opening one?
No, it's fine. You just took the satisfaction away from me of that sound right there.
I got it twice. Oh yeah.
Fucking prick. Give me that one. I want to open one.
Well,
I'll chug both.
Looks like the roof.
But we're back with sugar free. The diesel did not sit well.
No.
For some of us, a little tough going down. Kaylee's got heartburn, so if you see him spit up,
Cheers.
Shout out for next door for having the 4-packs.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, it's so cold.
I think it cured my heartburn.
Oh, and we're back with primed smelling salts.
The roofie worked.
That has semen on it.
What an idiot.
Wait till about halfway through the show.
Yeah, that stuff's going to be fucked up.
Joke's on you, I take them daily.
Wasn't a roofie, it was Viagra.
Oh!
It's going to be throwing brick around. Oh, got on your shoe. God. Just so you know.
Okay. And go. Deep breath.
Oh, yeah!
Oh. It's bad. It's not as strong as it used to be for me.
This is just fucking gross, man.
Inseminated.
I went back for seconds. I shouldn't have.
Oh, Bubba.
I lost my predictions.
All right. Well, we're primed. We're loose. All right, let's spin this wheel for...
Look at us with notes.
Real notes.
Did you hear it?
We're professionals.
Oh, God. Wheel spinning.
Oh, I hate this number.
Okay. Spin it again.
Spin it again.
79.
Oh, God, dude.
Nobody good.
We don't want to talk about linemen on this show.
Yeah, we do. The only reason that teams are good.
I mean, you're not wrong. Was it? No, Frank was 77.
Oh, my God. I thought I was going to get 78.
It's good.
It is 84. It's a good number.
Wow. I think we all know the best. One of
Randy
the
Moss.
best receivers in football. I don't know if he's the best, but he is one of the best.
He's number 2 in my
Antonio Brown, Randy Moss, Herman Moore. Bam,
Antonio
bam, bam.
Brown murdering people? What happened?
He
attempted.
Is that real?
He's got bad aim.
Is that
It's
real?
attempted.
I've been kind of out of sports, so I haven't really
The
had...
bad part is that second half of the video was posted all over the place.
Yeah, he got jumped by some people supposedly. Someone tried grabbing his chain. He got in a fight, got jumped by some people, and then as it was breaking up, he started firing shots in the air. But then he was randomly on his streaming, with one of those weird streamers within 2 minutes.
And then he tried to get a white Bronco? Or was that fake?
I think that part might be made up, but he was 84.
My mind went to Herman Moore.
I went there first, and then I went to Moss.
Shannon Sharp. And...
Randy Moss.
Well, obviously
Randy.
Purple.
Randy.
Purple Vikings.
Purple people eaters.
What was the kid out of Western Michigan that played for the Titans? He was 84. If we're name.
Yeah.
Corey Davis.
Corey Davis.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of receiving 84s.
I'm going to search.
Then I go...
What about... Julio was 11. Roddy White.
I was go to college too, and I'm like, Michigan never really had a stud 84.
So did Did 84 die? Are the 80s,
everyone went to the teens, man.
Are the 80s done?
Yeah, I think it's more single digits.
It used to be 80, 84, 81 were your studs.
Now 80s are pretty tight end dominated.
Was Marv C was 81?
81.
Or was he 80?
80 and Holt was 81.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
And Isaac Bruce was...
80.
80.
80. Yeah.
Talk about a trio of receivers.
Reggie Wayne, 87.
87.
What was there was an 84 in Green Bay.
Oh, yeah.
Donald Driver? No, he was 82.
No.
82.
Antonio Freeman was 87.
Greg Jennings.
Greg Jennings.
Putting a team on my back.
Putting
though.
a team on my back.
Oakland Raiders.
89 James Jones. They always had random solid receivers.
87 was-
Freeman,
well,
Antonio.
And Jordy, right?
Oh, and Jordy, too.
Was 87?
Yeah.
87, yeah.
And then 17 was...
Devontae.
Jordy, if we
How do we think Devontae's going to do this year?
I mean,
Everything, the things he's saying, he's like revitalized, really feeling good in camp. And my thing with the Rams and my thing with Devontae and my thing with Nakua is I said it before, Stafford locks onto a guy. I think he's had 1 year. 1 year he had Calvin and Tate that both guys put up numbers. But predominantly throughout his career, he'll have a very clear 1A.
But has he ever had a B?
He had Jordy and Nakua. I mean, he had last year
Cooper
he had
Nakua.
Cooper and Nakua.
And to be
So
fair,
that was the first
to
year.
be fair to that,
and
Cooper seemed to always go through injuries, and then when he came
Nakua
back, Nakua got hurt.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. He's never had.
Yeah.
He had Marvin.
He had Tate,
Galladay.
Tate and Galladay both did solid.
Was it Tate or was it Marvin?
For maybe a year, and then it was Marvin and Galladay, both okay.
To be fair, when you come into the NFL and you throw to the freakiest wide receiver to ever play the game, you get spoiled a little bit.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
and then he locked on Cooper. I know he had.
I mean, the first 2-3 years he had in the Rams, they had okay
Woods.
second receivers.
Right.
Woods was nothing. OBJ was nothing when they picked him up. Like Van Jefferson, nothing.
Right.
Like
So that's
it
what I'm
was
saying. Has he ever had an opportunity to have two studs out there?
I think maybe he did, but he only threw to one. So
Right.
we're sitting here saying they're nothing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it works. I'm just curious to see.
He's all. I mean, Steph's got to be what 39, 38.
He's
getting up there.
he came out in 07, our senior year.
I just look at it. Okay, so fantasy football, you're on the clock, and Nakua is the best receiver out there. How much does Devontae being there possibly hurt you drafting him, and the other way around?
I think Puka's a first round.
I think he probably is
receiver
too. But
this year, right?
I'll be honest, I'm probably not taking him there.
I'm not touching
He falls
him.
to you in the second round.
I think Devontae has I think he goes over 1,000.
Yeah, I just which one is it going to be? It's the same thing with Devontae and the dude in the Jets last year.
If we know anything about Matt Stafford, he's going to sling the ball regardless.
Yeah.
So.
But Devontae in the red zone, he's
Well, and Stafford's one of the best back shoulder throwers in football.
Right.
Yeah, I think they're both
Devontae's
going
getting tuds.
I do think they're both going to be good. I can't tell you which
I need
one's going
to-
to be the dog there.
I need to go and look at where everybody's at again. I know but like just seeing Cup in
There's a lot of
Seattle
shuffling.
jersey, it was just really weird.
And then they let Lockett go. So it's basically
Yeah.
Smith and Jigba. They sent Metcalf away. So it's Smith and Jigba and Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Cup. It's just
But
you don't know the dynamic.
They have Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
And you got Pickens in Dallas with CD Lamb.
Yeah.
Definitely some weird shuffle to see this year.
You think Metcalf's going to do good in Pittsburgh
I mean,
with Grandpa throwing the ball?
that's the problem.
We'll see.
But
He looks old, dude. He looks old.
Rodgers, he looked decent in little clips they're showing, but
It's
he looked
just-
old last. He looked old the last 2
It's
years.
just wild because he went from 2 MVP years to just like, poof.
That Achilles, man, but
It's got to be better now, right?
It's
Well,
still
that's
the
the problem
Jets.
is like when the Achilles
And it's
goes.
the Jets though. Like
the Jets tried to add all these players, and we're not the Jets anymore, and they're still the
you're
fucking
still the fucking
Jets.
Jets.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if the GM would have actually got his wish though, and they would have got Gibbs? Did you ever hear that video?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been insane.
What the fuck, man? Brees Hall, Gibbs, Garrett, Wilson, Devontae Adams, and then he still would have
And they
sucked.
still would have been terrible. He would have never been. He would have never been Sonic.
I don't know how they may. I mean, I know they're still the Jets, but I like Aaron Glenn a lot.
Yep.
He, what he did for us. I
That's
think
what-
he
that's what
took
people
so
need.
much from Dan Campbell. Not to mention, like he was already a leader when he came to us. But
Ultimately, yeah, they need a mentality change.
Andy left on his terms. You know?
I am scared. Like I hope Justin Fields has a good year because he's in the AFC.
I'm fine with
And
that.
I'm ready for him to like, because I think that RPO game that they could do could be very similar to what the Ravens do, because they have Brees Hall. They have that fucking freak that's 21 years old now.
Yep.
And then decent receivers
Who's their
with
old
Garrett.
coordinator? Do you remember who they signed?
I don't remember.
Wasn't
No.
it our
It
passing
was-
game coordinator?
Was it someone
Did they
from
bring
us?
him with him?
No.
I thought Glenn brought him.
That was
He was.
He went to Chicago.
and Randall L went to
That was receiver.
Chicago.
No, the other.
I was
dude.
talking about our passing game coordinator.
Yeah, I forgot his
Did he
name.
did he go there though?
I think he did.
Or did no Scott? Not Scott Mitchell.
Oh,
Our quarterback coach
Brunel.
Brunel.
He went there. He's there.
No, it's Tanner Engstrom. It was our passing game coordinator.
Okay, I knew it was one of the two.
The reason I knew that, I forgot he did go, but I knew he did because we brought in John Morton and all that. Like, there's no way that Tanner wouldn't have either been promoted or
Yes.
shipped out.
I just remember we
He was the hot name to be the.
We didn't
possible.
just lose our coordinators. We lost some key.
Well, and for the record too, we named our OC before he left,
Yes.
but I think it was already the writing was on the wall that he was on
When
his way
he
out,
wasn't
so.
getting that job, he was on the way out.
Yeah. So we'll see, man. But I think if anything, the Jets need the mentality change, and he just went through it with Dan Campbell. He watched what he had to do here with the Lions. So.
And he was there the whole time. Saw the whole thing.
Yep. So we'll see.
And he's the only piece Campbell didn't really touch.
Yeah. I hope the New York.
You know, everyone was complaining about the defense. They fired Pleasant. You
Yeah.
know, they got rid of the DB coordinator.
Yeah.
Or DB coach.
But that little thing changed.
That was such a weird.
It was such a weird,
So weird.
and it just
And it
changed.
worked. It worked.
The only thing I could think of is that they must have just had a clashing of minds,
Yeah,
and
it's just like
and
it's just like on the offense.
they were butting heads on. I want to do this. I want to do this. This is how I see it. This is and Aaron Glenn's like, this is what you need to play coverage, and he's like, no, this is how I coach it. And
yeah. And Aaron's like, this is my fucking defense. Get the fuck
Mind
out.
you, I was a really good defensive back in the NFL for a long time, so I know how to fucking play defensive back.
Yeah, like because Pleasant, even after he's proved to be a solid coach. Like
Yeah,
everybody
just-
seems to.
It was just they have to be on the same page. And they
Yeah,
weren't.
which it happens, but props to them for just fucking pulling the plug.
All right. Well, let's start with NHL because there's not really much going on. We 3-2 series, Panthers and the Oilers. Panthers are up 3-2. I think today. Is today the last game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I've watched 0.
Yeah.
I've also watched Zero.
I watched. It's actually been a couple overtimes. It's actually been a pretty good series. But that's really all I have. Could end it tonight. Panthers could win again. Another Edmonton loss in the Stanley Cup Finals. That's rough.
I know I love Florida's goalie and I love McDavid, so that's the only things I really think about those teams.
Going to the NBA. Thunder are up 3-2 now. I honestly I haven't watched any of the NBA Finals.
Watched a little bit
I haven't watched
here
any
and
of
there.
it.
What's weird is I am with you, but and I watched the conference finals. I watched the playoffs all leading
too.
up to it, and I'm interested in this series. But when every game starts at 8:30 during the week, I'm like, I watch the first half, and I'm like,
If you got a team in it, sure,
Yeah,
you watch
it's
it.
different.
But I'm not. Yeah, I'm the same way.
I'll sound old, but it's like I just don't care enough to
Well,
watch it, and
especially when we have a team playing right now that's really good, and they're on at 6:30.
well,
So.
and people will say it's like there's no star power, and like sure, but also LeBron and everybody could be playing this too, and I still wouldn't care. Like in the second half, it is what it is. I just don't care about OKC. I don't care about the Pacers.
Other NBA news: there was a trade.
Dude.
Fucking Desmond Bain for Caldwell Pope,
So
Anthony, and multiple first rounds.
4 first-round picks
Wild.
and unprotected first-round swaps. My thing is, the NFL severely overvalues picks,
Yeah.
and the NBA severely undervalues picks. Like, how the fuck did Desmond Bain get 4 first-rounders?
Wild.
Like,
Well, and then so we're talking about trying to get Giannis, and it's like if he's going for 4,
and
what do we have to give all of our picks for the next 2 decades?
look back at the Luka trade. They got like what 1 or 2.
Luka trade was the NBA just doing the NBA stuff.
So Desmond Bain for like fuck man. So if we wanted Booker, not a chance. If we
No.
wanted like
There's nothing.
there's
There's no way.
You gotta just sacrifice your
Everything.
entire next 10 years of your future to.
Yeah.
But the one thing I will say about the draft though is unless you're in the top 10,
And it depends on a draft, too.
it's not and year to year we've seen it the last 5-6 years.
And even those players don't pan out.
Yeah, so it's like I get it, but also fuck man.
That was like, I mean, we were lucky when we got Cade. that he was, because we were supposed to be the number 1 lottery pick then. That again we didn't get.
Yeah.
No, we were 1 for him.
We hopped to 1 for them. That was the one time we got
He was
lucky.
1, Green was 2. Remember? Because
You're
Green
right.
got
Yeah,
pissed.
that was the one time we
We've
moved
got,
up.
what was the other one? Ivy.
Every time we moved
Ivy
on.
we dropped. We were supposed to have the 1 again.
Yeah.
Also Asar, also Ron Holland. We dropped every time.
Yeah.
Except for that one. But
That's right. Well, Cade was our only.
Cade
number
was
one
the
pick.
actual one, yeah.
yeah, the Wembenyama year was
So,
should've been 1.
I mean,
Which was insane.
I-
Again, how we
honestly,
first got that.
honestly, looking at it, it's like it looks like they're just gonna stand pat. Like you can't do that.
Can't do that.
Can't do that. Like if you could get some of these players, even like the one that I hate the most seeing is KD. But if you get KD for cheap, yeah, I think it's worth it. But
Yeah.
to give up KD for what he was worth 5 years ago, fuck that.
Yeah. And then
No.
the one
Fuck that.
the one people talk about a lot too is Jaren Jackson Jr. And I'm
Jaren
like,
Jackson.
so if that's what it takes to get Desmond Bain,
Yeah.
what the fuck do you think you got to give up for Jaren Jackson Jr.?
Bridges was 5 first rounds last year.
Mikhail, yeah. It's unreal.
4 first rounds.
It's unreal. Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's
It's crazy.
I think that was the biggest thing I got of it. Not the trade. It was just the fuck.
Yeah.
So I guess like the logic behind it is when you trade these picks, you think they're not going to be very good anyways because you're trading to be good.
Yeah.
So that first round pick's not going to be very good.
But is Desmond Bain that good?
He averaged 22, 23 games. The thing about him is he can shoot,
Yeah.
and
He's a shooter.
he's your 2 guard. So
he's
you
a-
put him with Banchero and Wagner, and you got a young core there that you hope to keep together.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I see Orlando.
and then the thing is, like, we see in the East is open. Tatum towards
So
Achilles, Cleveland fell off.
Orlando's like, okay, here's our pieces. We add anything to it, we're gonna add a veteran. We got the young pieces. We don't need the picks.
That's where I think from them, but it's wild to me that the conversation even got to that point. Like, I would have thought they traded Cole Anthony, they traded KCP, whatever. They're probably expiring contracts. I would have thought maybe 2 first rounders, but like the 4 and 2 swaps, I'm like, shit. But it's just kind of
wild.
the nature of the NBA, man. And again, yeah, you look at it for the Pistons, you're like, fuck, that's what it took to get him. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I just think that's what we needed to see. Like, okay, let's see what we got with Ivy.
yeah.
Bring back the pieces we can bring
Yeah,
back.
that's cool.
And then bring and
Try to get a free
hopefully-
agent somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
try to get Schroeder back. Try to
Yeah.
maybe add 1 piece.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, you're gonna bring back,
yeah. But
That's crazy. Like, it's just
yep.
All right. Well, we'll just get into the other trades that happened and then transition over to the Tigers. How about the Sox?
Dude. Yeah.
well.
It's funny because a lot of people on like the ticket and stuff are like upset. Why couldn't
He's not
the Tigers
because all he
do
is a
that?
bat.
They
bad.
also they were getting him out of the AL too, I think. My thing with again, we weren't in on these talks, but we touched on this topic when we were talking about Bregman.
Mm-hmm.
When Devers signed in Boston, it was with the understanding that he was going to be a third baseman. He made it clear to them he didn't want to be DH.
Yes.
When Torres didn't re-sign with the Yankees, it was because they were trying to switch him away from second base. We signed him here with the understanding that you're going to be our second baseman, which is why you can't move Cole Keith there. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
There's certain things you do in good faith to your players, and that's why when they signed Bregman and they just fucking cockily assumed, oh,
Hey,
he'll
you're
move
gonna
over,
move.
he'll go to first, he'll go to DH. When he pushed back, they all tried to paint him as being a selfish guy and not being a team player, and it's like maybe a little, but also he told you what he wants. He's a third baseman. He wants to be a third. He's like 4th in the entire major leagues right now in RBIs.
Yeah.
He's your best player by far. Now they're saying he's a cancer, blah, 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 and it's like there's a reason he started being a cancer. But, again, I'm not in the locker room. I don't know the day-to-day stuff with that team. It sounds like it got to a point where they thought they were addition by subtraction.
They put their chips
But-
with Bregman is what they did.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
it's just
they want to make him happy and not
Well,
Devers.
here's the other
Wild.
thing. The Red Sox are not very good right now.
yeah.
So
Hope they keep losing.
don't be surprised if the Bregman talks come back into play for the Tigers.
Also, Aroldis. I would love Chapman.
Yep.
Add him to our bullpen. But, yeah, we need them to – the trade deadline's into July.
July 31st.
Yeah, so we need them to drop some games and just fucking have a fire sale.
I was gonna say, it's gonna be. It'll just. I don't think the Bregman talks are over yet.
I don't think so either.
Because he has an opt out after this year.
It's true.
With
Yeah.
the Red Sox, they're gonna, if they're smart and they're bad, they're gonna try to get something for him.
Yep.
I mean, granted, we have to sign him knowing that he's a rental.
Yeah. It's the exact same thing we did with Flaherty last year. It makes sense for them to get something for him, even if they're talking to him about potentially bringing him back the following year.
Which they always do. That never happens. It's crazy that we got Flaherty.
The one, unlike the big picture, it's wild for me to still get used to a world where the Red Sox are pinching pennies and playing small ball, because forever we saw them trying to keep up with the Yankees and spending on players and blah, 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 blah. Go back 4 or 5 years when they let Betts go, and it was like,
yeah, what the fuck?
You got this guy who's a fucking beast. Right. He's so good.
And you let him go?
And you honestly were like, we're not going to be able to afford him. The Red Sox, the Boston Red Sox, and they're still playing like that. So if I'm one of their fans, I'm sick. But
who's their GM now?
Still John Henry, the same guy.
From after
Moneyball dude, he's been there a long time.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. I'm happy that, not that our GM or our ownership is amazing with the Tigers, but
we're fucking penny pinchers too.
What's the Red Sox end goal? Like,
I don't know.
Imagine if Betts was still on that team.
As a billionaire, though, it's just like,
dude, they had Betts, Bogarts, and Devers.
If we spend more money and we put out a good product, we make more money. I guess it might be different in Boston because
Boston
Sox fans are crazy.
Yankees, Boston, Dodgers, they all got their own TV networks.
But
too,
if they suck, they're still going to come.
Yeah,
the Tigers suck. People don't go.
Yeah.
So doesn't it make
you see how packed the
put the fucking product out there? You're going to make more money.
Yeah.
Spend the money. You got to spend money to make money, right?
It's just wild.
Other two things in baseball that I just put down here is Craig Kimbrel. Yeah, he signed with the Rangers.
Did he?
Yeah,
I didn't see that. I saw the Braves DFA'd him.
Yep, signed with the Rangers.
Did you hear how the Braves did him dirty?
No.
Duff, did you see that?
What did they do?
So he was a closer for the Braves for years.
Forever.
He busted his ass, worked his way all the way back up through the minors, came back from injury. Came back. They called him up like a week ago, and it was a big story. He made one appearance, 1 inning shutout. After the game, they fucking DFA'd him. Like,
it's crazy.
I was like, and everyone was just like, why
doing?
even entertain the comeback story and lean into this at all?
To sell tickets.
And yeah, it was like,
that's a bummer.
But
and then
also though, I didn't really care to sign him either. Though he's been damaged goods for a few years.
He's on the other side of the hill. And NBC is trying to take over the rights of MLB from ESPN.
Well, didn't NBC just sign a big basketball deal?
They might have. I don't know.
Well,
is
that
TNT?
because they're taking they're taking the NBA.
That's where.
Is that who they're taking?
Yeah.
Are they?
I just saw that.
Good for it, dude. They're just dropping.
Yeah, ESPN's taking that show inside the NBA, but the basketball rights are going to NBC because they're talking about bringing back the round ball classic, the music.
Oh, so ESPN's getting. They're bringing that back.
Yeah, TNT no longer has that show, but ESPN's picking it up, and Barkley and them are agreeing to stay with it for now. But I don't know if it's going to go well.
Well,
there's going to be a lot more censorship too.
Yeah,
but is there though? For how late it is?
I guess you see with McAfee too.
The show's late.
It's tough. They're talking about the commercials and shit are different too, like longer commercial breaks on ESPN and more broken up. They're not going to let them just sit there and banner, which is when most of the best highlights of that show come.
Right.
But we'll see
how it is.
Charles Barkley has been pretty vocal about it, and he just said I'm going to play out my contract with my guys, which is 2 or 3 more years, and see how it goes. But we'll see.
Well, you hearing McAfee talk about it? He's
really.
You guys should do your own fucking thing. The show is you.
Yeah.
It's not inside the NBA. It's you guys.
These days you can, too.
Right.
Just do something streaming, talk with somebody.
That's what I'm saying. If they can do McAfee at noon.
Yeah.
Where, they sometimes say things.
Yeah.
But that's such a late show, too.
Yeah.
All those late NBA games, it's no one's watching that late.
All of the best clips from it, too, are, again, the banter that just the random shit that happens.
My TikTok's been blowing up with Top Barkley.
Yeah.
I love it.
We'll see. I don't know. And even the MLB, I'm pretty sure that's why they're stopping with Sunday Night Baseball and shit, too. It's something like with ESPN, but we'll see.
All right. Well, let's get into the Tigers. 46-27, I think they're.
First place.
Or
Yep.
47. Yeah.
27. Yep.
Yep. So first in the Central. They're 10 games up.
Yep.
Fucking love it, man.
It's funny how perspective changes though, because like we just had our first, probably second bad home series of the year. I remember the Rangers beat us up, and this one sucked because we should have for sure won 2 of the games. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, bad home series. But I went to the game Friday and we beat the brakes off them. Mm-hmm. It just sucked losing the Sunday game.
Sunday was tough.
You lose one series and people are like,
I mean, they've only lost what, like 4 series this year?
Something
I
like
don't
that.
know if they lost 4. I think they've lost 3 series.
They
They've
lost
split
a
a couple.
early, right?
Yeah. But we'll see. It's definitely going to need some bullpen help, especially if
Vest
is hurt, like they're saying.
Yeah, that one hurts. Vest hurts. Job obviously hurts. I don't know that wasn't out last time we recorded.
Nope.
So the Job news hurts. I mean, I think at the trade deadline, like everybody keeps talking bat. I think my priority is
Pitching.
bullpen,
I think
starting
you need to take a
pitching,
starter too.
and then a bat.
Yep.
But like,
I agree.
I mean, you're gonna Mize's starting to settle back in, which is nice. We'll see him tonight. I think his last start was, you could see him incrementally getting better.
Yep.
Coming back in from injury, which is nice. Scooble's obviously very dominant. That's like a.
Mm-hmm. He's your ace.
I mean,
He's unreal. Yeah.
Takes them out, and it's like, all right, good luck, guys.
He's the best pitcher in baseball right now.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, you
without
can
question.
chalk it up as a win.
Yeah. But the bullpen, I know we sent
Brisky went down.
Which sucks because he was like, we rode him a lot last year at the end.
He's just not pitching the same though.
Yeah, he was a big strikeout guy late.
Yeah, that's tough. Holton's getting hit around a bit this year.
Didn't we send someone else down too?
We brought the lefty
Matt Gage.
Gage, yeah.
He was the one we brought up.
We also sent down the dude Brebbia.
Yeah, Brebbia. So like, I mean, if you look at those names, they were a huge part of chaos last year.
It's tough because like a lot of these guys last year came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So, and now, unfortunately, we're starting to see some of them like the water finding its level. Where like,
Yes.
like, so you're telling me Brebbia or the dude that had a 5 ERA in Toledo actually isn't a 1.5 ERA MLB guy, but it sucks to see them all kind of
come to water.
time.
But that was kind of the reason too, because we're like, no one knows these fucking pitchers.
Yeah.
You know, and now they do.
Yeah, it's wild because like our most dominant reliever is the only one that we didn't have last year. Canely has been great.
Hanafy's been pretty good.
Hanafy's been good too.
Yeah.
He's taken a few starts
Yeah.
as well.
And then who got hit? Oh, no, Vest obviously has been great.
Vest has been unreal until now.
Whatever's going on right now, but
So
we'll see, man.
I think bullpen help. Any help we can get in the bullpen, I think we're gonna probably.
Hopefully, Veerling can be the bat. They're saying good things about him still, and he's back in Toledo.
Yeah, that was. I mean, the other thing, Parker's still trying to find his stride.
I just feel like we have enough. I don't want to say enough talent because you could always add more, but I feel like with our coaching staff, he's going to move people around. He's going to make things happen.
Hitting wise, yeah. I think. Side note though, Ellie De La Cruz, like anybody that watched the series this weekend,
So good.
3 games, he had 3 home runs, double. He's havoc on the base paths. He threw a dude out at home on a relay 98 miles per hour. Javi was dead, and people like blaming Cora. I was like,
No, that was a play.
that's what we do. We're aggressive, and you don't. I mean, you got to know what arms are coming at you, but 98 perfect strike home from right center field. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
that was just wild to see.
Yeah.
At least I went to the Friday game partly because my brother's a huge De La Cruz fan, so he's like,
He'll be on the Dodgers or Yankees.
whenever he has in a bat, he's like, I want to watch, and
Coming.
it was cool because he hit a home run. You got to see that, but we still won. But yeah,
The home run he hit Saturday was a laser.
Yeah.
Like I think it was like 114 exit
yeah,
velocity.
it's fun to watch.
But that's the thing. Like MLB doesn't advertise their stars, man. They're so bad at it.
They did last year when he came on the scene, but like
right.
since then they're like
Even
well, that was
on
cool.
like the big channels or anything, you hear nothing about it, and then all of a sudden you're like, holy shit!
Yeah, dude.
You go in the series and you're like, this guy's really fucking good.
He's unreal.
Like
they cater to the big money teams.
Yep.
The Dodgers are always there. Like there was a huge deal
Yeah.
about Otani pitching,
Yeah.
which he gave up.
Which
in our
Pitch
run.
one inning.
Which again,
Yeah.
they do that. They fucking jack off the
Yankees
Dallas.
and Dodgers.
No, I'm saying for football, they still do that.
It's the big market.
But you still know everything else, I don't know. I just feel like NBA is all about their players.
Yeah.
Right? They market
They do.
They don't market their teams, they market their players.
They do.
NFL is just, they're just king.
Yeah.
They could sell shit and everyone's like, oh yeah, this is great.
This is great.
Hence the Black Friday game and all the other shit.
Fucking Christmas Day game.
That's, so the cool thing about baseball season my whole life was the Tigers are going to play 6 out of 7 days a week. So you always got something to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's wild how much the last 5, 6, 7 years, how much football has also become that. Because when we were kids,
It was
college football Saturday,
Sunday, Monday.
NFL Sunday, Monday, one game Monday.
It's
That was it.
It's literally any day but Tuesday.
Well, I think now
Because
it's,
Wednesday is Maction, right?
yeah. So Mac, one of them moves to Tuesdays sometimes. Like,
So
what
literally
the fuck?
they have 7.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not NFL, but it's football.
Yeah, Wednesday Maction, Thursday Night Football, Friday they definitely have Mac, and they have some random D1 game.
Well, there's that.
games.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that time. It's right after Thanksgiving where there's 52 straight days of football.
Yeah.
Where there's a football game on every day
It's nuts.
When they start
for 52 straight games, and
Yeah.
it's like that first Sunday after or first Saturday after Thanksgiving.
It's crazy.
Well, now actually I think it starts on Thanksgiving
They might.
because that's when
Thursday,
it started. It was the Black Friday
then
game.
Saturday,
That's
Sunday.
it is Thanksgiving starts the 52
It's
straight days of
just-
football.
Was switching gears here, getting into football. Was Ragnow released last episode? I don't remember if we talked about that.
We did talk about
that
it.
Just happened.
Yeah, that had just happened that morning
so,
or that night, the night before.
So dead cap hit 4.8 mil for Frankie.
You guys hear the JMO buzz?
No,
I
tell
don't,
me.
I don't know if we have actual sources or not, but it seems like there's a decent amount of traction going around that we're going to try to re-sign him early, which I would love. If you can get him re-signed right now,
For what though?
I think you get him for a little bit less than what he's going to be worth after this season.
I would agree.
I
He's gonna-
kind of just wrote him off, man.
I know you did, but I mean,
I don't.
it's been solid enough sources that in my hopes is that if you're doing it this year, which we have yet to see with any of our players,
They like to sign
maybe it's
early.
a tiny bit of a discount, but every other player hasn't been. So maybe you're,
No,
I mean, they haven't, but
no,
if
it
you look
has.
at the
But if they
signing-
would have signed it a year and a half later, it's significantly less. Look,
yes, yeah,
St. Brown, for instance, like
not Kirby.
no, not
Kirby
Kirby.
didn't take
Saint,
any
but St. Brown was the highest played player,
for about a week.
Yeah.
and then 7 more signed,
yeah,
and you're
Goff
like, oh,
was
this is
right.
fucking
Yeah.
great.
So
Goff's got to take a price. He's got to
Well, that's
restructure.
So I
his-
remember I was preaching this. You remember this when I said sign Goff
Yeah.
before we won 15 games.
Yep.
Bro.
Before that, I said just sign him now because he's going to cost you a lot of money in the future.
if you have any intention of signing JMO, and then if you have any intention of signing Gibbs and Laporta,
And Branch
it's like
and Hutch.
I'm thinking specifically offense right now. You bring them into the room with Goff and St. Brown, and it's like, guys, something's got to give here, whether it's one player, one of you 5, or it's all 5 of you a little bit. Do you want to stay together? Do we want this? Like,
but
'cause
they
fuck,
haven't
man.
got the money yet.
know.
Goff has.
I know. That's what
Like, how do you
Goff-
tell someone to knock
St.
out
Brown's getting the money now.
St. Brown is.
now? I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, but that's what.
This is the contract he got.
But that's what.
Well, that's what I
Kelly's
mean. Do we
talking
need to
about. Like,
restructure
hey,
a tiny bit?
hey,
Do we need to? Because if not, one of them's gone
Right.
in a year or two. Like,
right.
But
I mean,
They can't
that's
actually-
what's crazy is because they signed Monty to a 3-year deal too,
yeah.
and it's
his,
like,
his wasn't a ton.
I know, it wasn't.
18 mil.
Yeah.
but still, like he's going to be the piece that will go and draft another running back to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now you got to sign Gibbs. Gibbs is going to make top running back numbers,
It's going to be 20, yeah.
right? I mean, has JMO proven to make 20? I don't fucking think so. He gives you a glimpse. Catch a ball through the middle, man.
I think he has.
He's got a lot of speed.
I think he has. I think he's going to show it this year. I really, all the buzz and everything. I think this is.
And it's like, okay, Laporta, really good. Can you get another tight end the same way?
I've said it for a long time. If I was picking out those 5, I'm cutting Laporta, and I love him. It's just, this regime. As soon as they took over, they booted Hawkinson because they weren't going to pay a tight end that money.
right.
They brought in Laporta. He immediately filled Hawkinson's shoes even more, and then it.
His blocking is just
It's just he's an excessive goods on this team. Like when you got Gibbs, JMO, St. Brown, everybody. again, not taking away from Laporta, but if you have any tight end that could just catch the ball, half of his catches he's pretty schemed wide open, and it's nothing crazy.
I feel like his last season, his better highlights were his blocking downfield.
Yeah,
right.
And
I feel like every trick play he had a part in it.
Yeah, you got to make a sacrifice somewhere, but way ahead of ourselves.
And what did our coach play?
Yep.
I don't know.
He likes Brock Wright though.
Brock Wright.
I don't know. I wrote him off. I wrote him off.
It's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, again, this is what happens when you get good. We wanted to be good for so long, and now we're good. But this is what happens when you're good.
Yeah. So if you sign him now, he can make less because of his suspensions. He hasn't played a full season.
That's where I think you
you
maybe get a tiny bit of a discount. You haven't played a full season. You've been suspended twice. You haven't done what you're about to do this season yet, because I do think this season.
If it pulls from Branch and Hutch, though, I'm going to be pissed. That's the two.
I think we sign them both somehow.
You just
the salary
yours
cap's
is always
fake.
sign everybody, and
The
it's
salary
gonna
cap's
fucking work.
fake, man. Don't you learn anything from
So
the Chiefs?
here's the thing,
And the Eagles
again, so Callie talked about it offensively, right? Like you bring in your core. Hey, fellas, do you want to stay together and be good? Do you want to create something special? Because again, you look at the Patriots, they did it for so long, right? Because Tom Brady kept restructuring his fucking contract.
Mm-hmm.
I think they do that offensively, but I also now with the Kirby signing, hey Kirby, do you want to play with the guy that saves you and makes you as good as you are in Brian Branch? We're gonna have to make a little adjustment here to this giant contract you just signed.
We're also thankfully in a time. So like the Lions got fucked years ago when they just happened to have 3 first-round picks before there was a salary cap on first-round picks. We nailed each pick.
Yep.
Stafford, Calvin, Sue.
Couldn't keep him.
But you couldn't keep them. The way it was structured, we couldn't afford to draft in the top 10 again. Now that's fixed. Now we're in a time period where we might be getting lucky here that this is a really great time to be a good team that's pushing a salary cap and having to sign young players, because each year that cap has jumped so much that all of a sudden it's like, wait, so we can sign this guy or we can do this more. Same, like Goff and St. Brown, like we said, signing them early. Well, yeah, that cap keeps going up, and you see what other guys are signing for. It's like, oh, actually, we did get him for a decent bargain, but I don't know. Keep raising it just enough for us to afford our guys and cap it there. But wishful thinking, just like our projections usually.
All right, well let's get into those Detroit Lions. So we got printed paper.
Hey, we're bringing what we finally promised we were going to do a couple weeks ago.
We're doing homework. We actually did it.
The 2025 regular season.
Fuck.
We got a fucking schedule here. We're gonna go. We got wins and losses. We will keep track of our own, and we'll tell you our records at the end. We'll go week by week, and we'll just. We have it all written down, so we'll just rip through it.
I swear we aren't homers.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we're major fucking homers.
Is
major.
17-0 good?
Is that good? All right, so let's start. Green Bay. That is going to be the. Is that prime time? 4:25. No, game of the week.
Yep.
Packers, week 1. What do you got?
Dub. We always win at Green Bay, man.
Yeah, I mean that's your prep game. You're waiting all off season. There's no way we're losing.
Kirby gets a couple picks.
At least
yeah.
That's what he does against Green Bay. All right, Sunday night. Nope, Sunday 1:00 versus the Bears at home.
I'm surprised they made that a 1:00 game. You feel like bringing Ben Johnson home, they would flex that somehow, but it is the Bears. So 2-0.
It just shows me that they don't have a ton of confidence in the Bears yet either.
Yep.
Not
That's
yet,
a dub.
except it is the last game of the year, so maybe they have more confidence in him than we think. I'm also going dub. We're not losing to fucking baby.
That's a dub with some special nail polish.
All right, this one. Our first Monday night at Ravens on the ESPN.
I don't want to talk about it. We're going to be in Las Vegas at Stadium Swim for a bachelor party. And I'm going to be cheering for a win. And I'm going to tell you that weekend we're going to win.
Yes.
But I fucking put it as a loss.
I did as well.
And it hurt.
And I'm in the same boat because I'll be with him in a matching bathing suit.
Lions bathing suit.
Watching the Lions
So
in stadium.
So there's like 7 or 8 games that's a coin flip for me. They could win, they could lose. This is one that I take an L on.
Fuck.
We all got L's.
Sorry, Donnie.
It's all right.
We're gonna win.
Ravens are good though.
Don't
we're
watch
gonna
this
win.
down.
Hey, if we ran into them in the playoffs though, we'd beat the fuck
There's
out
a
of them.
reason preseason they're ranked the favorite to be the best offense in football.
That's it. We're gonna beat them.
But you still said it now. All right, next we have a 1 o'clock game in the same division. We are at home versus the Browns. What do you got?
That's a dub.
Yeah, that's a embarrassing
That's
dub. We
a-
beat the brakes off
Yeah.
them.
I think
That's Shadur's first start.
and we're gonna have 4 picks on them.
Yep.
Give me the dub,
That's either Shador's first start or that's the part where they go back to Flacco.
Flacco.
Week 4. We'll see.
All right, then we go October 5th at Bengals 4:25 game.
This was the first one that was really.
Yeah, this
I
was
mean,
a coin
Ravens
toss,
is a
too.
coin toss, but I got to lean towards Baltimore just because what happened last time we played there 2 years ago. But
Yes.
this is a coin toss for me. I went with the Lions though.
I took an L here. So we'll
so
see.
I think between this and the next 2 games, they are going to lose one of them.
I did. Yeah.
I'm taking at Bengals just because I think their defense isn't that good. I think that offense is going to be a great game. But I had to have an L somewhere, so I put it on the Bengals.
It's funny you mentioned that you thought that they were going to lose one of these next 3 games because I thought the same thing, but I still gave them all wins.
All right, the next game, October 12th. It is at Kansas City. Back to back. This is an 8:20, so that's Sunday night game. What do you got?
W, man. I can't. The Chiefs last year, all those fucking close wins and not looking good.
It was, but prime time at the Chiefs, I have them losing. We talked about this before, about these first 7 weeks being if we can get out over 500. But now that I'm looking at this, like, it's going to be a challenge. So I have them losing to the Chiefs.
So here's my thing. I think that the Chiefs' love is going to stop this year.
I can see it.
I think it's going to be a Sunday night game where you're actually going to see it's not going to be Detroit versus everybody. They're going to give some love to Detroit. Mahomes will always get his love, but Kelsey's trash. It's going to flip. We're going to get the dub there.
Yeah, I think Taylor Swift's a Lions fan after that game.
Yeah, she's going to start singing about Lions. Okay, then fucking A. After that, we go to a Monday night game at home versus the Bucks.
Can't lose to these fucks at home back to back
Can't
years.
lose twice.
No, I have this as a revenge game and a get-right game after my 2-game skid.
Monday night too.
Yeah, I don't mind that, Duff. I mean, like I said, I think that's our hardest part of our schedule.
Well,
I
that
know
is
there's
this-
another
this is it.
there's another hard part in there, but
Without going game by game, I would 100% say 5-2 through the first 7.
I have them
Game by
4
game, I have them 6-1, but
yep,
I have them 4-3 coming out of the first 7
yep.
weeks.
And that's then we have the bye week, which I think is in a good spot after that.
yep. Bro, yeah, after Bengals, Chiefs, Buccaneers.
Yeah, and then you come back November 2nd against the Vikings at home.
Yep.
I think that's 2 weeks to get ready for that. That's fucking
That's a dub.
That's a dub.
I have a dub there.
Win.
Okay, this is another one of my coin flips at Commanders, 425.
See, I think the Commanders take a step back. I do. I know they added pieces, and I think Jaden Daniels is very good. But after getting embarrassed the way we did in that playoff game, this is our redemption.
I think
Because Dan Campbell does keep receipts. We saw that in the Cowboys game.
I was going to say I think this game is very much Cowboys of last year,
Yeah.
and they are not going to lose that game.
I do not think the Commanders take a step back, but I do think we win. And it's a revenge game, and we actually have warm bodies on defense this time around,
Yes,
hopefully.
we do. Okay, going back to another Sunday night game that is against the Eagles, back-to-back road games, 8:20 against the Eagles. This is week 11.
Got to pick L's somewhere.
Yeah.
It's a tough one, but this is a loss for me.
Yep, I took an L here as well.
This is another coin flip game, too. For me, I took an L for the Eagles, which means they'll probably beat that game.
Yeah, and also, I mean, if we lose one of these games I got for wins, I very well seen us win that one, but
Right. You
gotta put him on there.
I could see. Here's the thing. You could see him winning all these games,
100%.
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's just the NFL is the NFL. In some ways, hey, shit happens and they take an L.
Here's the thing: the Eagles have their whole offense coming back.
Yeah.
They were pretty good.
And they have most of their defense coming back, too.
Yeah. So they're a good football team.
And I think we talked about this. The Lions were the only ones that didn't vote against the tush push that actually plays the Eagles this year.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that. I love it. All right, November 23rd. That is not. Nope. The next week is 1 o'clock game against the G-Men.
That's a
Whoop
at
that
home.
ass.
Yeah, they're gonna beat.
This
their
is
ass.
the Jaguars from last year.
Yes.
Just
Agreed.
Titans, whatever.
Which brings us to Packers on Thanksgiving, 1 o'clock.
Can't pick to lose on Thanksgiving.
No.
Especially Green Bay. We lost to them 2 years ago on Thanksgiving.
They beat their ass
Can't
on
do it again.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And Chicago didn't almost beat us last year. I did take a dub on this, though, too.
You got
dub.
to. You got to.
Yeah, fuck the Packers. They're just in a bad spot. Packers, you got week 1 and you got Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Tough day for the Packers.
Yeah.
Well, and then if you look at it, I think we all took L's there for the Eagles.
Yeah.
So we're coming off a loss. We're going to
Then a
beat the shit
blowout.
out of the Giants,
Yep.
and then we get back into let's finish the division because now you're back into division play with three division games left. So
Yep. And that's the short turn there, too.
yeah,
November 23rd is the Giants, and then we play the Packers November 27th.
Yep.
So I do like this. We follow that back up with a Thursday against the Cowboys, prime time.
I'm going to surprise some people with this one.
Yeah, win.
I think it's a revenge games for the Cowboys, so I think rather than losing to us by 50, they'll lose by 40.
agree. The Lions still win.
I think that's going to be. There's a couple games that I just think are locked up dubs, and we don't ever play Cowboys at home.
Prime time,
So
night game,
come
Detroit.
come to Detroit.
It's gonna be so
Dallas, let me show you, because I feel like every time we play Dallas, we are always there.
And
always.
being Dallas just adds to the
just
crowd is
hate- I
going
just
to have some
hate
fun.
Dallas.
What game are we? Do we need to watch in a bar?
All of them.
No, in Mexico.
That would be
Commanders or
Commanders.
Eagles?
Commanders. Yeah.
Okay.
Commanders, yep.
Yeah, that's gonna be locked in. Okay, then we go December 14th at Rams,
It's a dub for me.
425.
Tough. I had to put it as a loss.
I chalked up an L2.
I don't agree with it,
I
even
don't-
though I picked it.
I don't love it, but we've also beat the Rams with the last 3 times.
I was at 11-2. I had to find some else here.
Okay. Then we go to Steelers
I think they suck.
with newly brought in
I get all the quarterbacks
Zach.
confused.
what?
Who's on the Giants now? Russell Wilson?
Yes.
Everyone.
Justin Fields on the Jets?
It's Russell. It's
Russell,
Jameis.
Jameis,
and someone else.
and
They drafted Jackson Dart.
and
They had DeVito,
Oh.
Cutlets is there
Da
too.
Vinci.
And the Jets have just Fields.
Yes,
And the Steelers have Rodgers.
Rodgers.
And someone else?
Yeah, Rudolph.
Oh, you know.
No, they don't have anyone. If he didn't sign,
It's wild.
That's who they were throwing
It's
out.
wild the Steelers did Russell Wilson and Fields.
Yeah.
And then shipped them both out.
So did you see that picture of Tomlin talking to Rodgers after the game,
No.
and then the other 2 quarterbacks are staring at him,
No.
but they put him in the other 2 jerseys.
Jesus.
That's hilarious.
It's pretty good.
Well, who did they draft? Will Howard, right?
Yeah.
So it was Will Howard or Mason Rudolph was what you had left.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Then
Steelers will still win fucking 10 games and make playoffs, though. So,
not
They-
this one.
They won't win this game.
but yeah, we're winning that for sure. Which brings us to our next Thursday, midday on Christmas, versus the Vikings at Vikings.
That's a win. It's a Christmas present for us.
I can't believe I put it as a loss.
I put it as an L as well.
I honestly wasn't even thinking about the Christmas aspect of it. But my thought is that hopefully by this point in the season, we have the division locked up. And the way I see the schedule playing out, with that being a Sunday game, or with it being a Thursday game, if you can get through that game, and then you got the long week until the Bears game, and then the playoffs, if you can somehow earn a bye, you got the longest rest you could ever have to get everybody healthy. And I know some people, you don't want that much rest, whatever. You could have 20-plus days
Didn't work for us last
to get
year.
healthy. But remember how banged up we were.
We didn't
Hopefully,
really get healthy though.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Hopefully,
the
we're
rest
in a
of them-
position where we have guys that aren't season-ending injuries
All right.
and
Yep.
banged up here and there.
Something here
but-
or there. Which brings us into Week 18 at Bears. I laughed last year when we were playing the Vikings, and I was like, "Why the fuck we play them?
Yeah.
We're gonna be resting people by then."
Yeah.
I don't know. Someone out there knows something. I would think that this game wouldn't mean anything, but I'm at Bears. We're gonna win.
Yes, we are going to win.
All right. What was your record? I know there's a lot of wins and loss talk.
13-4.
13-4.
I have us finishing on an 8-game win streak.
13-4.
I got 12-5.
Wow, dude, you're a hater.
I am. I was a hater last year too, because I had 14 wins. I was a hater last year.
You're
Just
a
so we
hater.
all know, I did guess 15 wins last year,
You did?
and we did win 15 games this year.
this
Last year.
This is a much tougher schedule though.
13-4.
And I think all of us could see him go 17-0. It's just, hey, week by week, let's see what happens. All right, well, that will bring us into college football. Haven't talked much about those Wolverines, but we do have their schedule as well. So we're going to run through that. It's going to be tough. This was tough doing it because you don't know. I don't know who they are yet.
I'm not a homer at all either, so this is not biased
Do
at
you
all.
like Michigan? I didn't know.
No.
Didn't even realize.
Jesus.
All right, so week 1, New Mexico.
Night game.
That's a
I
dub.
don't have that.
Want to know?
1-0. I do as well. I think this is the one that everyone's going to be caught up on is at Oklahoma, week 2.
We are 1-1 after this game.
I wish I could watch week 1 and then decide the rest of the season because it's going to be it's going to show us so much.
Is it though? I feel like they still aren't. They're still not who they are.
I know what the defense is though, and I know we're going to be able to run the ball.
Yep.
I want to see, do we get a quarterback that is, can he protect the ball? Can he?
Well, who's it going to be?
You know.
I think this is the Oregon game of last year. I think that we could hang in it, but they're going to.
I'll tell you what, the reason it's, I would honestly put us as a dub at Oklahoma, except for they just got a pretty good veteran starting quarterback transfer, Mateer from Washington State, that I'm like, because they didn't have a quarterback, but now they do, and they got a guy.
They
and
started
he's
as a true
stud.
freshman last year.
Yeah, and he's done. I think he transferred out because
Okay.
they added this guy, but.
It's hard enough to follow NBA, the NFL on where people go.
Yeah.
The college is even. Everyone leaves.
All this to say, I will be there. I will be on the field that game, and I'm excited for it. But I'm putting it as a loss on that.
You ever been there?
1-1. Never been there.
That'd be
Never
cool.
going to go back. But I figured this is the one chance to go there,
It'll be fun.
unless we happen to have them host a playoff game in the
Yeah,
future.
something like that.
But yeah, I got them 1-1.
But if we do, Central Michigan. We will not have our head coach for this game, right?
Shouldn't.
I mean that's a dub.
It's a dub.
Got to be a dub. Big dub.
That's brings us to week 4.
I think that'll be a really fun game to be at, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because I think a lot of former alum from Central Michigan will be there, too.
I agree.
Just to go. It'd be fun.
They don't like to have fun, do they?
Fire up chips.
I don't know any Central Michigan graduates that know how to party.
Nebraska, week 4 at Nebraska.
Can't wait to watch it. Oh,
Also-
Alex won't be there.
Also, Vegas week for us. Rayola, year 2. Nebraska, tough place to play. We get the dub. 3-1.
I thought his name was Patrick. No,
Yeah, you can call him that.
Whatever, Rayola.
we're getting a dub.
It's a dub.
3-1.
Goes to the week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wisconsin at home.
Back home, first big home game of the year. 5-1 or 4-1.
Yeah, we're 4-1. I also don't know. Does Wisconsin, they're the same? Wisconsin's been the same team for,
Well, they're not though.
It's gonna be year
that's
3.
Illinois now because what's his name?
It's gonna be year 3 with Cincinnati's coach.
But Wisconsin's still trying to do the same thing
yeah.
yeah,
as when.
Yeah, they just have smaller O linemen now.
it's I can't think of the guy's name, but he was Ohio State interim coach, then Cincinnati's coach, and now he's been at Wisconsin. This will be year 3, but they just seem to be just kind of there. I don't know.
Yeah, they
Not
go
doing anything
500.
special.
They're 500 every year, or a couple games over.
Yeah. At USC, cross country travel.
I don't know anything about USC this year
Yeah,
because their quarterback didn't he try to transfer?
yeah.
Who is their
It's,
quarterback? I don't even know.
He was a big name last year. I can't remember his fucking name.
so he did go in the portal, and I think that the guy that took his place is still the starter going into this next year. But I don't remember where that did win if he went anywhere. But
I think that's going to be a big statement win to show Like that's going to be like, oh, Michigan,
I think we beat
Michigan
them.
actually is good because who have you played at that point?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you lost to Oklahoma, you played nobody. Okay, USC's a team, and they're going to beat them.
It's tough to travel to the West Coast, and I'm still obviously, I know we lost at Washington last year.
Do you know the time of that game?
Don't know. I just know
I would love that to be a late game.
last year was year one of the West Coast teams being in the Big Ten, and a lot of East Coast teams didn't have good luck going west and west vice versa. So I have it as a loss. I think Lincoln Riley's going to be out there trying to save his job. And last year's game was a freaking battle down to the end. But
I think we win the same. That's why I do think we win because of the battle we had. I think we're going to do that again because their offensive line is pretty much back.
Yeah.
And not to mention, I think we got the Alabama transfer running back. Mm-hmm. We have Jordan Marshall from last year that showed that he could toe the rock. So I think it's a ground and pound. I think it's a fuck you Big Ten football game.
you guys hear that at home? I gave them a loss. They both gave them wins. I'm not a homer.
I don't trust USC.
I hope I'm fucking wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
I just don't trust USC. I don't think they're
I
very.
don't
I don't either.
Washington.
Whoop that ass.
Yeah, Washington's dead.
Toast. At MSU, October 25th.
Side note, too, I see them flexing Washington to a night game at home. That will just add to the ass whooping.
That'd be sweet.
Michigan State, I actually put that as our bye week. 6-2.
That's a dub.
Yeah, it's a dub. Purdue.
That's a dub.
Also, back-to-back bye weeks.
I feel like Purdue every once in a
We have
while
3
pops
bye
up and
weeks in
has
a
a
row.
good game.
Purdue has a new coach this year, so
But that ain't happening this year. That's a dub.
They always have one pop-up year every 10 years.
Western.
They're still dead.
So the cool thing about Northwestern,
That's after a bye, too, right?
we're playing Northwestern at Wrigley Field.
That's
which
cool.
will be cool.
Oh, that is. That's right.
So that'll be cool. It is after bye week, and they're going to get their dicks kicked in on a baseball field.
May try to go to that one.
No, I'm going to be at that for sure, somehow, some way.
The problem is we get back from Mexico
Side note,
3 days before.
Bye week in Mexico. It means I don't have to devote half my Saturday to celebrating a Michigan win.
Yeah, that's we can go hard for the Lions game and
Yeah.
go hard.
What's the difference?
We
of
don't.
We go hard all
Or
the time.
not go hard.
I'm saying like go hard to watch the Lions game.
Yeah,
we
it's
only
true.
watched a half last time.
It'll be a Lions theme weekend, just like Vegas.
Yeah. Then we go to at Maryland.
For some reason, they seem to hang with us a little bit,
Yeah.
especially at Maryland, but they don't have Little Tua anymore. I don't even know. I couldn't name a single player on their team. I got us 9-2. That's a win.
I don't really love our schedule, man. We got
I,
2 big games.
as a season ticket holder, I love home away, home away, home away, home away,
Yeah.
home away all season because
What you just called me?
every year in the past, the first 4 or 5 weeks,
I like to see homos naked.
bro, 4 or 5 weeks, home, 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 home. And it's tough when you're setting up a tailgate and you're doing it ends up being
Yeah.
a lot.
What was who was it has 9? Was it Georgia?
I would believe it.
It was one. They have 9 home games.
I believe it.
How can you do that?
Because
that's-
they only have, I
that's
think they have like
bullshit.
7 conference games, and then they put all their non-con games at home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sucks.
Yeah.
I would
All right,
like to go to.
and then-
I would like to go down to Athens for a game.
November
I
29th.
lied. They have 8. Wait, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we have 9. All the Big Ten teams have 9, and all the SEC teams will have 8 conference games. But, wow.
Then we play Ohio State at home.
Whoop that ass 5 in a row.
I got a dub too.
Yeah, it's a dub. I mean, Ohio State is a question mark this year. I think. I know they still have they're still a good football team. Don't get me wrong. I think they'll be in conversation as always, but they're also starting a new quarterback this year.
And their head coach is a psychotic douchebag that can't beat
Dude.
Michigan.
Their defense is going to be good. They got Caleb Downs, and one of the best safeties in the country. They got
That's
some, but
probably the best receiver in the country.
Yeah.
they got Caleb Downs, Jeremiah Smith. Both their running backs are gone. The quarterback's gone. Tight at the other receiver.
Both their running backs.
I'm
All
just saying,
signs
but
point towards-
even in the past though, even when Ohio State, where you're like, okay, they're gonna have a down year.
Guys, we were 20-point dogs
But
last year.
this
and
is
won.
so.
Right.
Tell me any time in the last 10 years since the transfer era started that they aren't coming into the season with a proven stud quarterback.
That's what I mean.
The closest ever was last year, and even Will Howard, he was a 3-year starter at
At
Kansas State.
With a winning record.
prior to that-
a lot of passing yards.
C.J. Stroud, his entire career, Justin Fields. Every single year, if they didn't have a guy that had already started there and had success, they had a
What-
transfer coming in.
Was Yeah.
So you're telling me Julian...
I'm just saying, though, but Fields wasn't Fields until later in the season, right?
Fields played 2 years there, and he was still a 5-star at Georgia.
Yeah,
and
CJ was the same
And
thing.
he went. I was gonna say,
I'm just trying to think.
He
Like,
went to Georgia first.
and before that they had
they proved it that year, though.
the dude that passed away in the car.
Cardell Jones.
No.
It wasn't Barrett, was it?
No, after him, Haskins.
Haskins.
Hassan Haskins.
So they went Barrett, Haskins, Fields, Stroud.
Yeah,
Like, dude, just they always had somebody.
some athletic quarterback.
But yeah, and Fields. The thing about Fields too is he was right at the peak of
the transfer portal.
Urban Meyer
And they're
having a machine.
And their worst quarterback they won the fucking natty with.
Yeah, Cardell.
Which
and,
is fucking
But
crazy.
I mean, Justin Fields was at Georgia for an entire year.
Yeah.
As a backup.
and even that year it was they got 3 guys get hurt. 2 guys get hurt to even get to him.
Right.
Barrett was it Barrett Haskins or was
Haskins, Barrett,
it Braxton?
and,
I don't even. They had so many
who was
guys.
the
Braxton
guy?
was
Who's the guy that
Pryor,
played
Terrell
Terrell
Pryor.
Pryor? Yep.
Like,
It went Terrell Pryor, then it went Braxton, and then JT.
so I can tell you last year being on the field at Ohio State when we rung Will Howard's bell and everyone kind of thought he might be concussed. I was by an Ohio State photographer. He's been doing it a long time. And I said, who's your backup? And he said, we don't have a backup. And I was like, and then number 33 came in, Devin Brown. And I was like, you're right. You don't have a backup. And then I was like, what about Julian Sayin? Because he was a 5-star true freshman from last year. And he was like, he's so far away from seeing the field. And I'm like, so what changed that all of a sudden you're confident that he is your guy? Like, I can only imagine if Bryce Underwood comes in as a true freshman, he doesn't even turn 18 until August. If he has a slow start, I don't see people freaking out other than the 10 mil NIL, whatever. I think people are going to expect some growing pains. If you have Jeremiah Smith and you're Ohio State and Ryan Day and Julian Sayin has a slow start, I think their fan base is gonna have a meltdown. That's how they are. So
They're gonna have a meltdown regardless.
Yeah,
Well, they may have some
They'll have a
grace.
meltdown on the 29th.
They may
I know
have
that.
some grace to start the year because they are coming off a national championship.
Yeah.
What does their
I
teams
don't-
look like? Did they play Penn State this year?
I'm gonna look at their schedule right now.
I think Penn State's schedule sucks.
Yeah, Penn State has 2 tough games all year. Oregon at home, which is a whiteout,
Okay.
and at Ohio State.
Which
So that means for
Which
sure
again,
I
we-
know
so-
Ohio State's getting Penn State at home.
right
Okay, so Ohio State has Texas early, but that's Arch Manning.
at Texas
That's at home. Game 1.
is Texas.
Texas at home is game 1.
Wow.
So that's, again, Arch Manning's first start versus Julian Sayin's first start. I got to give Texas the nod there just because you get a first-year quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have a first-year quarterback.
Then they go Grambling win, Ohio win, at Washington. Tough going to the West Coast. Like, I could very well see Ohio State 2-2. Minnesota, you win. Illinois, you win. Wisconsin. Then Penn State, Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers, Michigan.
So
Nothing
they got cake too going into Michigan.
Going into it, yeah. That Penn State game.
So you got Penn State. You got
That's
Penn
gotta be
State and
tough.
Texas.
Penn State, Wisconsin at Wisconsin.
So my
Penn-
thing is,
Washington,
if they lose that Texas game early on, they're gonna they have to murder Penn State to be relevant.
They won't.
And they might.
They
but
have to.
I don't think they will, but
They won't because
Is that at who? Where was that? Is that
it'll
at the
be
shoe?
it'll be at the shoe.
yeah, it's at the shoe. I want to say they won't either, but I feel like Penn State always they find a way
Well,
to shoot
Frank-
themselves.
Frank-
up.
Oh, I'm
The
not
big-
saying
big
they,
games
I'm
they
not saying
choke.
Ohio State won't win. I'm just saying they won't.
Oh, no. Yeah, they won't.
Because Penn State has a good defense.
Penn State
they
is
always
too
have
good.
a good
Yeah.
defense.
They're too good of a team. They can control the ball.
They're a good team. They
running.
just lose big games. Is all they
Yeah,
do.
that's just James Franklin.
Because we go for it on. We had it first and goal from the 5 and couldn't fucking score.
Side note: I saw a ranking system ranking all the best quarterbacks in the Big Ten the other day. This might be the worst big quarterback class the Big Ten's ever had for a season. Don't get me wrong. I know there's a lot of highly recruited, unproven guys, but literally the number 1 quarterback in the Big Ten coming back, everyone has Aller. Okay.
It's just what? How many years has he played?
Like Julian Sayin's like 3rd on the list.
That's
Bryce
crazy.
Underwood's like 6th. I was like,
He hasn't even played a game.
but then I was like, okay, so you go through and it's like, who do you rank over him? The only people that Nico Lama-Leiva or whatever from Tennessee, I got him top 3. He was like 8th because he's at UCLA.
I hate that guy.
I got him top 3 just because he's the only guy I've seen play.
Yeah.
Allor, just because I know he's played. And then there's one other transfer. Who is it? I'll find it. But There's one other guy that transferred that I'm like,
Is
all
this
right,
just
I've seen him play, so I get it.
I mean, is this just a down year in general for the NCAA?
Okay, here's
For
a
quarterback.
top 10 rankings. In the
I just
Big
think
10.
they're unproven.
What big names do you have out there?
Bro,
You say Big Ten, or you say all of them?
Top 10 Big Ten. Aller number 1, Julian Sand number 2, Dante Moore 3,
Yeah.
Demond Williams Washington 4,
Who?
Luke Altmaier 5, Dylan Raiola 6, Jaden Maeva USC 7, Bryce Underwood 8, Fernando Mendoza Indiana 9,
No idea who that is.
Nico Amaliva 10.
Yeah.
They have him over the Michigan State kid.
Yeah.
Who's Michigan's?
Childs
Childs.
isn't even on
Aiden
there,
Childs.
which I would have Childs for sure in there.
Childs should be in there.
Childs
But yeah,
is.
like Aller,
He can be scary.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if he develops,
I mean,
at all,
he also blows games, but
they have him and Nick Marsh.
yeah.
the side note though too is like, so if you follow recruiting, Sand, Moore, Raiola, Underwood, and Amaliva are 5 guys that in the last 3 years were all like top 2 quarterbacks in their class.
That's
So,
the thing. I think it's
that's
just
what
a
they're basing
new
on.
in college football quarterback wise. Who you have? You have Aller, who's known, and then Manning.
No one.
Manning.
Yeah. Who else do you have?
Which
Ewers went to the draft, right? He ain't back.
Oregon's gonna have to start a new quarterback.
Ohio State lost theirs.
I'll be interested to see if Dante Moore pans out, just because
I mean, it would be.
we know he has the talent. He was the
So Manning's the big fucking name in college now. That sucks. As a sophomore,
I mean,
is he a sophomore?
go team. No, he's a junior now. This will be his.
Did he?
Yeah,
You know, a redshirt. He's not a redshirt sophomore.
he might be, but
He hasn't played
I think
for
we're just counting 3 years
Yeah,
because
I mean, he'll
he
be out.
ain't staying
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
Go team by team, and I'm like, who did Miami get? I know they got some transfers.
Yeah, think of who was in the playoff, right?
Bama has nobody.
Nobody. What about who's Oklahoma's quarterback?
Bama, I think, is gonna have the first white quarterback in a while. Tyler, I think it's
That's
Simpson.
but that's a transfer, right?
Georgia is Gunnar Stockton. Oh, that's who. Georgia's quarterback went to Miami, but he's Carson Beck.
He's
Oh, that's right. That's
But,
what I was trying to think
but
of.
he shit the bed too.
Yeah.
And he
Oregon.
dropped the bag on
So-
a hot girlfriend.
So he
Oregon
might,
Dante Moore.
he might be the big
Dude, there's nothing.
nothing.
Dante Moore at Oregon. I hope he pans out, dude. Just because he's a local kid, but
Yeah. I just.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, we'll see during the season.
well, there's going to be
Yeah.
a freshman quarterback that takes the.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Arch Manning is the favorite for probably Heisman.
I'm still trying to go like team by team and think is there any, like, who are the top teams? Is there anybody that even has? So 2025 NCAA rankings football. I'm curious to see, is there a top team that we're forgetting about? I don't think there is. Penn State, Clemson. Okay, Cade Klubnik,
Yeah.
Arch Manning, Georgia, Gunnar Stockton, Ohio State, Sand, LSU, Garrett Nussmeier, Notre Dame.
Is he related?
And they lost their quarterback. Yeah.
Is he? That's cool.
Notre Dame lost their quarterback too. I don't even know what their quarterback is. CJ Carr, Lloyd
Garrett.
Carr's grandson.
Josh Hoover? Who the fuck's that for TCU?
These are the top 5: Cade Klubnik, Arch Manning, Garrett Nussmeier, Drew Aller, DJ Langway from Florida,
Yeah.
and then the kid from South Carolina, Lenore Sellers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just
Yeah, man. There's nothing we're forgetting really. Like,
it's a prove it year for quarterbacks. No one's out there done it.
There's the Sam Levitt kid from Arizona State.
yeah, and I don't see that.
John Mateer.
So that's what I'm saying.
Oklahoma,
Mateer's the
Carson
one
Beck, and then Nico.
So
Lomalu.
Bryce is just unproven as all these other fucking guys.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be a wild year.
That's what
It's gonna be wild.
You know what I mean? Like,
Get ready to see some new faces in
yeah,
college football because that's what it is.
There's just not a face of it.
Yeah.
And that was the other thing. Do you see Bryce is the candidate for Michigan who's on the cover of NCAA?
Yeah, I saw that. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I mean, that's.
It's a lot, man.
I mean, he's spinning on Ohio State in the commercial too. I don't know if you saw that.
I still.
He's got.
It's a lot to.
Putting a lot on a 18-year-old kid that hasn't
Yeah.
touched the football in an NCAA
So
game.
who is
It's a lot to wrap
where's
around it.
Kevin Jennings? Is he at Boise State? Is that the Boise quarterback?
No clue,
Because
but
it said Kevin Jennings, Maddock, Matson, and Sam Levitt. That's the Arizona State kid. I know that.
Yeah.
But the other two I don't know, and they led playoff teams and are back for more.
I think
I'm just excited. I think it's not just Georgia and everybody else this year. I think we're going to see.
It is wide open.
Yeah, and is this because of the transfer portal and everything?
That's,
a lot of people hate it, but hey,
this was
is this making things more?
Well, now everybody's paying players. That's a
what I'm
joke.
saying.
But it's also you see it and you're like,
oh,
there's a reason.
Yeah.
Why aren't these teams dominant anymore?
Yeah.
Well,
like,
that's what.
But also, no one wants to stay behind. If Bama can't hold 5 quarterbacks,
Yep.
you know what I mean? Because everyone else pays too.
Yeah, man.
So
Like,
this is an article on ESPN, but it's after a few years in which the Blue Bloods routinely chase veterans into the transfer portal. We're about to enter a season in which Michigan, Georgia, Texas, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Alabama, and Ole Miss expect to start quarterbacks with little to no experience.
Well, so here's the catch too is like I say it's wild that Ohio State and Michigan, these teams are all going into a season with a first year quarterback, but we just went through the list. Who the fuck's out there to even try to get as a transfer?
Miller Moss was that kid. That was that USC kid.
Like I would have got him for in a second. He seemed, I don't know where he ended up.
Right.
But when they mentioned him going to the port, I was like, well, get him.
That's what I'm saying. It's just a down year. It's not a down year. It's just not a veteran quarterback
Michigan brought
class.
in 2 quarterbacks with starting experience. They brought in Mikey Keene, which I'm starting to get the vibe Mikey Keene might never play.
Is Underwood our starter?
Right now he is.
On the depth chart?
It was supposed to be him and Keene competing, and they just brought in Jake Garcia, who played for Miami. Like, he's bounced around.
Jeff's kid?
No. But he bounced around a few times, and they're bringing him in as depth because I don't know if Mikey Keene's going to play. Davis Warren's out for at least half the season. And the only other guy with the pulse is Jaden Davis. So you literally have Jaden Davis, who's never played year 2, Bryce Underwood year 1, Mikey Keene hurt, Davis Warren hurt. So they brought Jake Garcia in, and people are like, why? I'm like, I think Keene still hasn't thrown a ball. So I think Jake Garcia, and they're going to tell him, hey, you got the chance to compete. Good luck on this quick of a turnaround because they just announced it.
I think, based on all that, I think Michigan has a chance playing in that Big Ten title game this year. I think it's going to depend on how November 29th goes.
The defense is unreal.
I think
the running game is going to be fun to watch.
I think we might have a situation where you have the Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, all all have one loss or something, but now you have Oregon in the mix too.
You look at the Michigan team last year, and yeah, it wasn't a great season.
But they definitely changed midway through the season.
They lose 5 games. They got beat by Texas.
Right.
They could have won that Washington game.
Yep.
They could have won the Indiana game. They should have won the Illinois game.
Mm-hmm.
So you really got beat by Oregon. You got beat by Texas.
And also as a first-year coach.
Yeah.
It's no longer Harbaugh's team. It's his.
So if your quarterback's even competent, just be competent.
Right.
Running is going to improve. I loved Mullings. I'll always love Mullings.
Mm-hmm.
But Jordan Marshall and Justice Haynes, I'm excited to see.
Yeah. I think we're not going to take a step back in the running game.
Like, the offense should be better.
I don't know much about the O-line.
I'm pretty sure they all returned.
You lose Loveland, but the offense should be better.
But wasn't Loveland hurt too?
He's banged up on and off.
Back and forth. Was he healthy?
Yeah.
Also, now I have to hate Loveland.
What's funny about Loveland too is
I don't like that.
fans, man. Fans. Loveland and Will Johnson both bitch all year that they're sitting out just because they're protecting that. And then guess what? Loveland immediately had to have shoulder surgery, missed all offseason, couldn't work out in the combine, luckily he still got drafted. Will Johnson, they end up finding out he's got an issue with his knee that's been bothering him for a long time that might be a lifelong thing, and he might need surgery too. And it's like,
where did Will go?
All Cardinals. But all those fans that talk shit all season, now it's like, so now what do you think? Like, he actually was hurt. Like, you think dude was just making it up to sit out? Like, come on, man. And I know some players do, but I think both of them could be like, well, actually was hurt. There was something going on.
Loveland, I could see him, and he played. But, like...
Loveland missed the Ohio State game.
Why did Will Johnson need to play?
So yeah,
he didn't.
Yeah, and Loveland was one of those that wanted to play, and it came out in the Northwestern game. He got a concussion, and he couldn't play against Ohio State.
I mean, Will Johnson played 3 games and had 3 pick sixes.
Also, props to Kenneth Grant and Mason Graham and those dudes that fucking played every game.
Well, I think
that's such a.
But I think what Mason Graham did is he got himself into a top 5 pick.
Yeah, dude.
100%. He played himself to a top 5 pick. Kenneth Grant played himself into the first round.
I mean, was he 11?
Dude, 12, yeah.
13.
Dolphins.
So the interior of that defense.
And Loveland's like 17.
2 picks, top 12.
Yeah. And
That's you want to talk about why we beat Ohio State right there.
I'll say it for years too, but there's always people that are like the hot take posting shit for clicks. The people that are Mason Graham's not a top dude you don't know
they showed him in a fucking non-padded spring practice for rookies.
That guy is just
after his senior year of
he
college.
puked. He's probably been enjoying the money that he's making.
Yeah, dude. 3-year starter as like a high 3, low 4 star.
I just hope
he was a 3-star.
I just hope that what's his first name? The guy we got
Trent, not Trent, Malik Williams.
Tyleek
Williams.
I just hope.
Which, by the way, he took number 91, which was Anzarike's number. Which
to Levi.
Levi's still on the team.
So he probably changed his number.
Yeah, they're saying he changed his number. They haven't announced it yet, but as soon as they announced Tyleek's number, everyone was like,
we just signed him. Levi needs to have a fucking year this year.
Yeah. I think they're saying he's going 98 or something. I think that's Reeder. Or is he 99?
No.
Reeder's 98.
Either way. Tyleek, yeah. So expect to see a different number on Levi.
Are we going to sign Zadarius?
He keeps getting seen in public.
Stop telling me that you want to be here. Take the price cut, you fucking prick.
You have enough
we
money,
offered
man.
We offered you something. You just don't want it.
I thought when the Ragnar money got saved, that would be
the next day signing.
Yeah, I still think it's going to happen, but I don't know.
We need to make sure his porn star girlfriend keeps him happy.
Not a porn star. She's a rapper, man.
She used to be she used to be a stripper. My apologies.
There you go.
She looks pretty happy.
My apologies.
Why not both?
He made a ring for Detroit. No, who does that?
He does want to be.
Is he like the clingy girlfriend you want to get the fuck away from?
He wants to be here.
We don't want to get rid of him.
Is that what's going on though?
He wants to be here. I don't know.
I just don't. He fits everything we need.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
They're gonna get Trey.
Were they trying to hold out for that still?
They finally just said he's actually finally negotiating again with the Bengals, but we'll see.
With Detroit.
Yeah.
That's what you meant to say.
Sign and trade. You never know, man. Never know.
Hendrickson and Hawkinson, man. Or Hutchinson. Wow.
It's like
that's a lot of H.
And then who's was he Indian? Who's the other guy?
Oh, Hassan.
Hassan then?
Yeah.
A lot of H's, baby.
Yep. It's going to be fun to watch.
All right. I think that's it.
Well, if you're still with us, thanks for listening. We appreciate you as always. That's going to wrap up episode 30 up until next time in 2 weeks.
Nope.
There it is. 30. Yep, there you go. 30.
Backwards.
As always, forward down the field and go blue.
Go blue.
See you guys.
He got her when he knew he soft as butter. He ain't never been a fighter. You can go and ask his mother. I'm a lover and a fighter. Producer and a writer. Give a girl a quick fix and give your man a nice shiner. You know y'all don't really want it. And I can tell just by looking at you that you the type to run and go and tell just by looking at you. You on a mission for recognition by dissing. Didn't have no problem till the record started.